Okay, that was a disaster. Hi everyone, welcome to the Messy Desk. In the previous videos, we looked at days 1 to 14 of the Diamine 2021 Inkvent calendar, links in the description box below, and now we continue with day 15. Now I have a lot of bottles on my desk. Very messy. Right, day 15. I can't even put this box flat down on the table anymore because it's full of bottles. Okay, here we go. 15. Nightshade. This is a standard ink and it looks like it's blue. This calendar is definitely a lot less Christmas themed compared to the previous one, but I can't fault them for it. I mean, how many Christmassy themed words can you even find to make inks out of, right? And I'm also interested to see how long they plan to keep up this Inkvent calendar for, or how frequently they have it, because coming up with 25 new inks every year, I don't think many brands come out with that many new products a year. Looks like another very dark purple to me. Oh, that's very blue. It reminds me of the Butterfly PT. It's kind of like a purple blue color. And it's not quite as dark as I imagined it would be. The cotton bud didn't absorb that much ink. You know, sometimes the cotton is maybe packed together a bit tighter. By this part, it's pretty dry already. But even from here, you can see that it's not that dark. And from the writing as well, it's quite a light purple blue. That was day 15. Now next, 16, right here. Another red. Vintage copper. Read that as Kappa for a moment. And I saw it's a shimmer. You can see, oh, there we go. It's like a copper shimmer. So it looks like it's a copper colored ink with copper shimmer. So Diamine's ancient copper is well liked by many. I wonder how people like this ink. Personally, well, you know, the range of colors that I super love in inks is kind of narrow because I really love the blues, the greens, and the blue, greens, and turquoise in between. The rest is like not as much. I mean, I still buy inks of all sorts of different colors, but I just don't use them as much in daily writing. Although, well, I do like a couple of reds. I have a couple of reds in my rotation that I really love, and Diamine Oxblood is one of them, but not so much the browns or the yellows or the greys and blacks. This definitely does give me ancient copper vibes, although I must say that I don't use ancient copper hardly at all, so I'm not sure, you know, my color perception might be totally off. Not seeing the shimmer bits yet. I guess gotta wait for it to dry a bit more. So we'll put that aside and look at the next one. Okay, 17 right up at the top. Nope, blue. Thunderbolt. I thought I'll go for like a yellow, I don't know. The yellow with Thunderbolt. I mean, the bolt itself is like a white. Well, people usually draw yellow, but I suppose the skies would be blue. This is a standard color, standard ink rather, meaning no sheen, no shimmer. I definitely hope that they would stop shrink wrapping these little bottles in plastic. Could do without the extra plastic for the environment, and it's such a chore to open the bottles. And the thing is, when you buy the bigger bottles, they don't come shrink wrap either. So there's clearly no need for it. Looks like a electric purple here. This color, the brightness of it, it gives me basic blue vibes. Although the shade is different, but just how, you know, vibrant and outstanding it is, basic blue vibes. The shade is just slightly more purple compared to basic blue. This is Diamine's answer to Bay State Blue. Look at that. It's so bright. It's like piercing. Thunderbolt Bay State Blue. Yeah, it's very bright. The shade is maybe just a slightly more purple compared to Bay State Blue, but they're looking at it again. it looks pretty darn blue. Their answer to Bay State Blue, I guess. Like if you like Bay State Blue, want to try it out, but don't dare to try it out, get this. This is for you. And especially how when you look at the text, there's no shading at all. That's exactly how Bay State Blue is like. Like I have a couple of pens inked with Bay State Blue. I do like the color. I love how vibrant and piercing and just in your face it is. But because there's absolutely zero shading, after writing with it for a bit, I get bored. Seems like this Thunderbolt is going to be pretty similar. This is interesting. Yeah, I like this one. I think I'll get a bottle of it just because it's so bright. Okay, that was day 17. Yeah, that's the most interesting ink so far, I think. Day 18. What is this? I can't read this. SubZero. I was like, what? SubZero? SubZero. Okay, shimmer. SubZero. So it's like a blue ink with like silver or light blue shimmers. Probably going to look just silver when you write with it. I still can't get over the Thunderbolt. That was a nice surprise. Okay, so I'm refilming this because I lost the footage. If things look a bit different, especially the swap, then you know what happened. Okay, that was a disaster. Alright, so gotta say that this ink is actually lighter than I imagined it to be. It's also more of a turquoise shimmer to show up in here, but I do have another swatch. So this was the swap that I did in the footage that was lost, and I love the dark black tones on the edge of the swap, but realistically speaking, you're not going to get it when you write with that. The shimmer does add a nice accent. It's a silvery shimmer, but other than that, nothing too special about this ink, I guess. So I've let these inks dry for a while, so we can look at that. We have a nightshade. This is a regular ink. It's nothing too special, although it's kind of like a purple blue. Now for the vintage copper, you can see the gold shimmer particles. Looks more gold than copper right now. It's definitely gives ancient copper vibes. The name itself is pretty similar. You can think of this as ancient copper with shimmer. And Thunderbolt, I still really love this color. Very flat but extremely vibrant, and still loving this. Finally, we have SubZero. It's a nice ink with a bit of shading, little bit, but you can see there's a little bit of color variation when writing. It's a nice light blue. I also love this color. And let's move on to day 19. Here we go. Festive Joy. This is a standard ink, so it's another purple. Let's see how joyful this purple is. Seems like a pretty dark purple as well, and let's write with it. It is a very dark purple. This is like royal purple vibes. Yes, a nice deep purple. Very nice and dark. I don't like it when it's lighter, but when it's darker, it's nice. Again, not so much a fan of purple, so wouldn't be exactly jumping to get a bottle of that, but it's nice color and something more traditional, vibrant purple, since we have like purple grays and something more red or more pink, but we haven't had a purple in the set. So this is a nice purple. Day 20. Last few days left. Pink ice? Is that an eye? I guess so. Pink ice. Oh, okay. I can see the light pink shimmer particles. Looks pretty. My fingers hurt from opening this plastic. This is like a coral pink. Yeah, it gets light pretty quickly, but this is a very sweet color. It's nice, light pastel pink, coral pink. I like this color. It's very sweet. Not usually one for pinks, but I could see myself using this. Can't really see the shimmer yet. Guess it's dry a little bit more. 21. over here, Brandy? Brandy Snap? Is that? Yep, Brandy Snap. Oh, okay. It's the brown. Let's see. It's also a standard. I'm guessing it will be like a light brown. Brandy isn't that dark colored, is it? Pretty much as I imagined it. It's a nice light brown with lots of yellow, but still very readable for sure. It's definitely nice and readable. It's a lighter shade of brown. So next up, A22. Oh, is that a green or black? This is Black Ivy. It's like a dark green, and it says it's a sheening ink. I'm curious to know what kind of sheen you did. Oh, it looks very dark, almost like a blue even. Okay, let's see how it writes. And yeah, I'm curious to know what kind of sheen this will give. Red as well? We'll find out. Well, first thoughts, that is a very dark green. Almost looks like a black really. I suppose you could call it one of those colors that you could use at work, and you know, people look at it and they're like, oh, you're using a black ink, but in reality you know that the secret is that it's actually a dark green and it sheens. Oh, that is very dark. And actually, it's more like a blue or very dark turquoise. It looks pretty blue to me. Definitely is a bit of green, but also quite blue. It's like the 54th Mass. I don't know why I compare it to that ink a lot, but like 54th Mass, way darker. Like add a lot more black in it. Yeah, this is an interesting color. Definitely a nice color to use if you want to use for work or something. People think you're very obedient, but actually you're a rebel. That kind of color. Okay, we have what, 3 days left to go. 23, 24, 25. 23, here we go. This is a light color, brown, orange, and it's called Wonderland. That is light. Look, you can actually see through the bottle. It's a standard ink. Yep, I didn't see any shimmer particles in it. Wonderland. I'll be thinking, since Christmas, I'll be thinking of Winter Wonderland. I would think of a light blue, cyan maybe. Definitely not orange. Not sure about you guys. What do you guys think? You can comment down below. This is a nice bright orange. Not exactly neon, but bright for sure. Very citrusy feels. Very nice and orangey and quite light. Pretty legible to me, but like if it gets any lighter than this, it'll start to get hard to read. This is like just on the borderline. I appreciate having something more cheerful, something to brighten up the day on the eve of Christmas Eve. Okay, we can start to see a little bit of the red sheen on Black Ivy. Earlier on, the Festive Joy. It's dry now. It's a nice pure like great purple. Pink eyes. I can see the eyes part because of the silvery shimmers. And this is pastel-y pink, but yet pretty dark and definitely very legible. This couple few needs more time to dry. Last 2 inks. This was a long video taking session. Okay, Christmas Eve. What do we get? Ooh, oh great. I can't pronounce this word. Yuletide? I can't pronounce it.
Yuletide.
This is a standard and it looks like a cyan. Looks like it's the second cyan or light blue of the batch. It's definitely darker than I thought it would be at first. Ooh, but that just gave me Yamadori vibes right there. Like, I really love Sailor Gentile Yamadori. It's like my all-time favorite, #1 favorite ink. Oh, yeah. This is definitely giving me Yamadori vibes. Yamadori has that extra bit of sheen. This is standard ink. It's not supposed to have any sheen, but this is giving me a lot of Yamadori vibes. Could possibly call this a Yamadori replacement? I'm not sure, but it's pretty different from all the other blue blacks they have. So there was Christmas Eve, and finally the big flap right in the middle. So it's their 30 ml ink bottle and it's called All the Best. Oh gosh. Is it teasing us about the year and COVID? This is very funny. So what a name to call your Christmas ink, All the Best. I know it's like wishing you all the best. Like maybe 2022 will treat us better. It's funny, okay, and it's a purple ink, I guess, purplish reddish ink, and you can see very obviously here there's a purple shimmer. So not sure if it has any sheen, but definitely has shimmer. My goodness, what a name though. All the best. I do wish, I think everyone wishes that next year would be better. I mean, maybe the take is like this ink will give you like all the best in life or something. I don't know why did they name it this way. It's hilarious to me. But my take is that it's wishing us all the best for 2022, and I think we do need that. Okay, nice generous dip. Okay. Initially, I was thinking like Yamabudo from Yoshizuku, but at the same time, it's pretty dark. Well, maybe because I'm applying so much. So it's giving me a bit of like ox blood vibes. It's definitely not as bright as Yamabudo though. But ooh, that is a very nice thick red. Reminds me of wine. Here it is. It's definitely something different compared to what they had for last year's 25th Happy Holidays. We'll be back when the ink's dry. Okay, and we're back. Let's check on the swabs. So they're all dry now. Okay, this is Brandy. Again, I like the ink variation, the shade variation when you have a huge blob that kind of like a black rim. I love that. Okay, next, Black Ivy. It's looking pretty green now. The ink over here is very green and a nice red sheen to it. I like how dark the green is. It's pretty different. Wonderland. This is a nice bright orange. Again, I like the ink variation when you just spam a lot of ink. And then we have Yuletide. Now that it's dry, it's looking a bit less like Yamadori. I do see a tiny little bit of red sheen when you spam a lot of the ink, but otherwise in the writing sample, not really. Interesting ink. It's kind of like a dark turquoise maybe. And finally, All the Best. Now this is interesting. The purplish shimmers stands out pretty nicely from the red, kind of like a dark purple red color, and when there's more ink, you can see quite clearly around the edges. There's a nice yellow gold sheen. And so that is all for this year's Advent calendar. Now if I were to pick which inks that I'll get a big bottle of, assuming that they'll come out with big bottles like they did previously. Garland, definitely want that. Definitely way darker colors this time round. And this is pretty nice. I'm kind of on the fence whether I'll buy a bottle. Same with this. The color combination is nice, but this is not an ink color that I would use often, so maybe not a Stargazer, Ruby Blues. I like them just because I like blues. Maybe Vintage Copper, kind of nice, but again not a color that I'll use a lot of, so maybe no. I have to get Thunderbolt because it's pretty. SubZero, I love it, and I love the ink variation. If I could use it with a thick nib, maybe I can see more of the shading. That's nice. Oh, I love Pink Ice. And Black Ivy is nice too. Yuletide is also nice. And All the Best. There's actually quite a lot of inks that I still like from this set. Let's count. 9. That's almost half if you count Storm. That's like 10 out of 25. That's a lot of inks that I do like. Although the first few days kind of disappointed me because, we have a lot of very dull colors. But turns out that there's still a lot of inks that I like, especially towards the later half of the calendar. So that has been my swatching session of the Diamine Inkvent calendars. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel for more ink geeking out sessions. See you in the next video!